Welcome to Thinking Women,
the intelligent conversation show.
And we are almost out of lockdown, fingers crossed. Hooray, yeah. So we're in the studio this month and we've got lots of interesting conversation, intelligent conversation for you, as always.
Yeah, I'm talking to the lovely singer-songwriter, Jeke, and we've got a fashion stylist on hand. And you're talking
I'm talking to Sarah Steele. Well, Sarah Steele, our money expert, will be doing a video. And Charlotte Lodey has been in the office, who has been talking to me about the Blue Mind method and getting in some cold water, which was really interesting.
Yeah.
So lots of good stuff.
Yeah, we kicked that conversation off last month, didn't we? Because we started talking about the whole cold water therapy. So she's great. So we've got the expert in to find out. So a great show lined up for you. But normally, at this point in the show, we have our kind of like funny little what's in the inbox, don't we?
We do.
But we decided to change it this month because for women, this month of March has been just such, I think a roller coaster is a way to describe it. So we're filming this in the sort of third week of March, just FYI. So the week before, we just want to touch on what that week meant for women.
A really big week. It started off with International Women's Day and ended with Mother's Day, Mothering Sunday. But within that week, there was the terrible events regarding Sarah Everard, and also the interview with Meghan Markle. There was just so much going on, and it was almost a lot of sadness, sort of sandwiched between two supposedly quite celebratory, so we had empowering days.
Yeah, so this bread of empower, and I did feel very empowered on Women's Day. You know, I felt that was such a great start, and obviously we are mothers, so you know, Mother's Day is an important thing to me. But yeah, in just 1 week in between, we had the Meghan Markle interview where you know her mental health was questioned. She was like, essentially told by the media, no, you did not have suicidal thoughts. And there was the race element there. And right through, then we had the Sarah Everard, we had the vigil on Clapham Common, and of course, the very horrible irony of the police brutality. And
I think the thing that came out of it, and I know we've talked a lot about it off camera, is this feeling of whether women are safe and whether we can actually express ourselves. And we talk a lot about being thinking women, and that's all great, if you can't actually then express and communicate what you are thinking, that becomes really difficult. But I want to focus on this point about safety and how safe we all feel when we're out and about. And interestingly, and we put a post on our Facebook group about this, and you, Lou, was saying that you have always felt slightly
what
unsafe.
happened with me when this all sort of came up, I think I realised that I think women, certainly my age group women, have lived in, just lived with this pervasive fear actually throughout our lives growing up, and you don't think about it. And this is where society comes into play, is that we just accept it. And because of particularly the Sarah Everard situation, it really brought it back to me how I live my life in fear. But I accept it, and when we started talking to other women, the outpouring was like, yes, absolutely. And it just, but then I was talking about walking home, and I've literally changed my life. And I realised since I was 20 years old, when I was first attacked, I mean, that's another thing, we talk to women, the volume of women who've had some kind of assault in their lives is huge for a start, and we start talking about it. But because of those instances, we change our lives. And I realised for 30 odd years of my life, I've literally lived with boundaries.
And as we said, this was the experience that we, when we put the comment on the Facebook group, we had lots of comments of people saying the same thing. It's an interesting one for me because I've sort of almost fought against it, and my initial reaction, well, I haven't really felt that unsafe. But then when I've actually thought about it, I have, and I do get nervous, if I'm walking around on my own in the dark, or going for a run. I mean, that's the one that suddenly I thought I'd go running quite a lot. I go on my own. Quite many of the times that I go, and I did sort of think, well, actually, should I be doing that? So it sort of called me into question a bit about my behaviours and whether I'm fearful enough. But then, should we be having that?
But should we be fearful?
Yeah.
But that's the point, isn't it? We shouldn't live in fear.
No.
And the fact is, we are living in fear, and I'm going to say I didn't know I was, but I kind of had buried it, and that's how we all feel. And we're kind of living a lie of fear. And that's, if there's anything good that comes out of this week and this horrendous incident, that we can change, you know, and society needs to change. I mean, there's been a lot of discussion about, you know, men, and, you know, I'm a mother of young men. You're a mother of girls. And so how we parent our children needs to be addressed.
Absolutely, and how
we have responsibility. But it's a society which will change, I hope.
And I think, if anything, you know, it's a balance between the two, isn't it? I mean, that's what I'd hope that my daughters grow up to understand the risks that they're taking and what they can do to mitigate those risks and whether risks are appropriate. So, you know, do you go out running at night in a dark wood, or do you go in somewhere more populated in the day? You know, those sorts of things. But it's not about not going out and not doing stuff. It's about making the right decisions.
And also it's about, you know, when society questions us, you know, for example, it's about the way we dress. So in my personal experience, when I was much younger, I had a sexual assault incident, and one of the first questions was, what were you wearing? Now, this is 30 odd years ago, so does that happen now? Fortunately, I haven't had an incident where it's been caught, but that was 30 odd years ago. Is this still happening now? So, you know, those things should not be relevant. That's the point, isn't it?
Absolutely. So it's a really interesting one, and I encourage you to go onto our Facebook group and join the debate, because we'd love to hear what you've got to say about it. But yes, over to our first guest. So with lockdown coming to an end, our thoughts will be turning to going out for meals, going shopping, and probably spending a bit more money. Saving is still important though. It's something we should all be doing. But how on earth are we going to do that? Well, here's our resident money expert, Sarah Steele, with some tips.
Hi everybody, so today I'm going to cover savings, because with every new tax year, which starts on the 6th of April, we get new savings allowances. Now, to start with, you might have heard it's recommended that you save between 3 and 6 months of your essential spending, so that's things like your mortgage or rent and your bills, in an account where you can access it easily in case of emergencies. Now, unfortunately, most easy access accounts at the moment are not giving a lot of interest. Probably best case scenario is around 0.5% at the moment. So if you have got money to save, you might want to take a look at investment savings accounts. These are also known as ISAs. Now, these often pay a slightly higher interest rate, or you can invest your money in stocks and shares if you want to invest for that longer term with that prospect of higher returns. Now, the beauty of ISAs is that they are tax-free savings accounts, which means that you're not charged tax on any interest or profits that you make on those savings. Now, every year we get a new ISA allowance, and for the 2021-22 tax year, we can save up to £20,000 in an ISA of our choice. It is a use it or lose it allowance. Now, it's worth doing some research just to find out which ISA is going to be most suitable for you. You might want an easy access cash ISA if you think you're going to need to dip into those savings, or you might prefer a fixed term deal, which is going to give you that higher rate of growth provided you don't take any money out during that fixed term. If you think that you are going to want to take money out, replenish those savings again, have a look at a flexible ISA. That might be most suitable for you. Now, if you're saving for your first home, then a lifetime ISA is a must. You need to be between ages 18 and 40 to open one, but then you can put up to £4,000 a year into it. And the real advantage here of a lifetime ISA is that you get a 25% government bonus to help you get on that housing ladder more quickly. But one of the rules with a lifetime ISA is that you need to have had it opened for a year before you can use that money as a deposit on a house. So if you think, I am going to save into a lifetime ISA, why don't you open one now, just with £1, because you're going to get that clock ticking. Lastly, you can save into a junior ISA for your child. You can put in up to £9,000 a year. But the money can only be withdrawn once your child gets to 18, and you need to be mindful at that point, it does become their money. So that was a brief introduction to ISAs. Next time, I'm going to attempt to make pensions simple for those people who want to save for later life. And I'll see you then.
So our next guest is singer-songwriter Llewellyn Jade Eek. You may remember her from our Christmas show when she sang and played the banjo so beautifully with Daisy and Bailey. So I'm on the sofa with her having a chat about the life of a female troubadour.
Shake this feeling, and I don't want to bring you down, and I can't shake this feeling, wishing that you'd come around. Sift through the feed that feeds the sheep all they need. I hesitate over the place where I can agree. And are you listening to me? 'Cause my cryptic words get tangled. Are you listening to me? 'Cause all my emotions are mangled. Maybe I'm a loser. Maybe I'm just depressed. All my friends
Welcome, Luella, to the show.
Thank you.
So we're going to talk about your music, and I know that you've been playing music for a long time. This just isn't a thing that happened a couple of years ago and you thought, I can sing. Take me right back to when you knew you could sing and play.
Well, I started out busking, and I needed a job, basically. I needed something to earn some money, and I'd learnt a couple of songs on the guitar, but didn't know whether I was any good. And someone said to me, well, you know, if you go busking, you know, you'll get paid, and if you're good, you'll get some money, and if you're not, you won't, you know. And I thought, well, that's a good way of testing it. So I took to the streets and went busking, and I thought, well, if I earn my bus fare home, then it's a good day, you know. I only had 3 songs, I think, when I started out. So I went and did my 3 songs twice over. And I got my bus fare home, and yeah, I thought, oh, well, there you go.
Success.
I got more than my bus fare, that's it, we go. I learned some more songs and keep going.
But you take quite a different tack to the singer-songwriter approach, I think, to a lot of women. More of a sort of troubadour free spirit in a sense, not moulded by the industry. Was that a true description of you, would you say?
I think so. I've never been sort of in keeping with fashions and things like that ever since school. I was always a bit of a weirdo and an outcast.
Yes, for the weirdos.
Yeah, exactly. And I never really felt like I fitted in and that sort of thing. And I suppose with the music side of things, it was a way of making money, but I also just loved it, and I loved writing my own songs, and I've travelled around, and sort of I wanted to see places and use the music to be able to travel. You know, you can play music anywhere in the world, and someone will appreciate it, you know, and a lot of the time you sort of end up in places that you wouldn't normally be in because you've been playing, and people are drawn to that. So yeah, definitely the traveller sort of type.
But that not fitting in, I just want to hit on that a little bit from when you were younger. Do you think that colours your songwriting? Is that important?
Yeah, definitely. I think from feeling a little bit different, and maybe that you don't fit in or something, being able to sort of explain a part of your soul and yourself to somebody else helps them to understand you. And maybe that's why I wanted to write songs. You know, I wanted to be heard. I want to be, you know, people to hear what I've got to say and understand me a little bit better than maybe they already do, you know, and they've got one perception of me. Well, I write a song about this, and they had no idea that I felt like that.
I just think it's very courageous to be able to stand up. So we've talked about this ourselves before, when you've written a song that's so close to your personal experience, and then you stand up on your own, actually, you haven't got a band around you, and you're just saying to everybody, here's my inner diary of life, and
that's you're bearing your soul, you know, you're saying, here I am, everyone, you know, this is my darkest part of me, or my brightest part of me, and hope you like it. please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt my feelings. You know, it's very exposing, you know, and I mean, that's art, isn't it? You're expressing yourself, and you're expressing, you know, exposing the deepest, darkest corners of your little mind. Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Luella. It was
welcome.
Lovely to
Thank
talk
you.
to you. So here we have Luella Jeke with The Bird and the Bull.
Now you see me, now you don't. You're tugging on heartstrings, but mine are broke. I dance for a little while around your fire. The flames, they lick my skin and make me high. 2 horns protrude from your bovine skull. 2 eyes peep out from galactic black holes, captivated by your charismatic soul. hesitance, my heart's out on parole. The songbird she flies around the globe, singing high, swooping low. The songbird she flies around the globe, singing high, swooping low. Big broad shoulders bustling. My heart's a china shop, so let the fun begin. And so we tussle to and fro. We touch the surface, so much there is to know. Draw my own conclusion. Draw my own delusion. Smoke rings from fire. I choke on desire. With smoke rings from fire, I choke on desire. Now the fire has gone out. The rain descends to quench the thirst of drought. Tears of loneliness flood my head. The bull he walks away, the romance it is dead. The songbird she flies from the bowl, singing low.
So, who's been in the sea lately, or any cold water swimming for that matter? It's been a huge trend started by Wim Hof, I think, who first got us all into it. Anyway, we've got Charlotte Lodey in the studio with us today, who is a blue health coach and life coach, and also the author of a book and a journal about the Blue Mind Method. So welcome, Charlotte. It's lovely to see you.
Thank you.
So tell me, what is this all about?
This is so exciting because this last year, I think during lockdown, everyone has realised that they can't do the fitness that they normally did. They feel a bit disconnected, and so everyone's been getting out, and if they can, they've been getting in the sea, they've been getting in lakes, and it's just so awesome to see more people getting involved with getting in the sea, basically.
Well, because the swimming pools have been closed.
Absolutely.
So we've not had that option, have we? So.
Yeah, and I think people are just like, what can we do? What can we do? And this whole concept of wild swimming has just boomed, which is just amazing. And I think Blue Mind is part of that. It was kind of pioneered by a guy called Wallace J. Nichols in America, and he wrote the book Blue Mind in 2014. And for him, it was just his life's work of how our connection with the outdoors and the water can really enhance our well-being.
Well, that's the thing, because the wild swimming goes beyond just the swimming, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
So you can get in a pool and you go and swim in your local swimming pool, but the wild swimming does something else. So what are the health benefits of it, and why should we be giving this a go?
I think there are so many different benefits that the first thing for me is you're doing something different. You're challenging yourself to step out your comfort zone and put yourself in that situation which feels scary, it's cold, it's maybe a bit of the unknown. And the more we can do that in our lives, the more accomplished we feel, the more hits of dopamine, like the happy self-reward hormone we get, and the more excited we are to just try new things in life. So the first thing is, it's just going to make you feel good. It's going to make you feel accomplished.
Beyond the initial shock when you get in.
Absolutely. You're going to get out, and I promise, even if you go in for 2 minutes, you're going to feel like, that was amazing. I feel like I did something, because the initial worry about just getting in and swimming or getting in the cold is quite overwhelming for people, because they're like, oh, I've never really done it. I don't know what to expect. So the first thing is, it's going to make you feel great. You're going to feel really accomplished, and you're going to, if you do it in the mornings, it's going to start your day.
And is there any reason why you can't just go and do it? I mean, are there any health reasons or any things that you need to prepare, or literally is it a case of just put your swimsuit on, go down to your local pond or wherever you are and jump in? I mean,
to be fair, we have to, I guess, take it seriously. You don't want to be going swimming in a place that you don't know. You want to go with someone else. You want to be aware of tides, rip currents. If you're, for example, I live in Newquay, we swim in the harbour. In high tide, it's very safe, it's very sheltered. There's people around, people know where you're going and what you're doing. You need to be able to be fairly confident swimming. And the main thing is, it is cold. So you're not just jumping in the water, you're acclimatizing, and this is part of the health benefits. So by walking in really slowly, getting your body used to the cold, your brain will start sending signals to your body that this isn't right. So it's triggering that stress response, and it's telling you, you shouldn't be doing this, it's really cold, get back out, put your jumper on, like, what are you doing? And so by slowly acclimatizing yourself, and Wim Hof says, do what you know your body is capable of doing. Right. And so you're kind of just telling yourself
too far.
Absolutely, but you're telling yourself, I can do this, I can do it, and you're breathing slowly, because a lot of people will go in and they're like,
well, this is it. A lot of it is the breathing, isn't it? And I know in your book you talk about blue breath as well. So what's that about, and how does that come into play with this?
Yeah, I think so. The thing about Blue Mind is, it's a state of mind. So it's about really engaging the parasympathetic nervous system to allow you to just slow down, relax, and go into rest and digest. So we're either in stress response, rest and digest. And I think that this concept of Blue Mind is quite easy for people to access, because it's basically saying that there's a science behind this. If you can slow your breath down, if you can breathe through your nose, and you can control your stress and your anxiety levels when you're going in the water, you're proving to yourself that you can calm yourself down, you can give yourself mind clarity, and it makes you feel good, because you're giving yourself that moment. You're actually engaging that part of your parasympathetic nervous system that is allowing yourself to slow down.
Yeah, and then that sense of control, I guess, is something that you can then take to other parts of your life. So it sort of sounds like a natural sort of a chill pill, really, in some ways, isn't it?
Yeah. And we have to prove to ourselves, right, that we can recharge. We're so busy in our lives, and in the book Wallace J. Nichols writes about red mind and blue mind, and we're so focused on red mind, which is good for us, productivity, energize, get stuff done, but we tend to then stay in red mind, and we look at our screens too long, we push ourselves too hard, and we end up burning out. So what we want to try and do is interject this idea of blue mind into our lives as often as possible, to create harmony with this.
Yeah, and being able to just draw on that when we need to. It's certainly something that I think a lot of us need with lockdown and the experiences we've all had. So, well, thank you, Charlotte. That's been really fascinating.
Thank you.
And best of luck, everyone, with your wild swimming and your blue hub.
Ladies, hands up, who does not know what to wear when we're going out of lockdown? It's a nightmare. So we've taken the fashion advice of our expert Emma Gordon, and she's going to tell us all about what's in the air for spring and what to wear.
Hello, I'm stylist Emma Gordon, and if like me your style has taken a bit of a backseat over lockdown and your go-to has been comfy loungewear and tracksuit trousers, then do keep watching. Trying to work out what to wear right now is really confusing, especially if working from home. But one thing's for sure, the days are getting lighter and warmer, and the end of winter is definitely upon us. So it's time to awaken our wardrobes and put a spring in our step through enjoying and making more of an effort in what we're wearing. I would love to help you achieve that. So here's my 5 ways to style into spring. The knitted vest top. It's such a brilliant layering piece. There's so many to choose from right now, but I love this splash of clashing colours on this vest, which is from Never Fully Dressed. I've teamed it with this feminine blouse to add real contrast. Adding a little belt round your waist can be very flattering when wearing this shape of top as well. One of my favourite trends at the moment is the oversized shirt. I love to keep it classic with blue and white striped. Roll up the sleeves, pull out the collar and add your favourite gold jewellery and you're good to go. The statement collar blouse, it's such a useful piece in your wardrobe right now, especially if you're having to make a lot of work online calls. I adore the detailing on this blouse from Another Stories with the ruffle detailing around the collar here. If you want to embrace this trend but don't want to invest too much, how about one of these brilliant little detachable collars you can pop on any top? If comfort is still key for you and you still want to wear jogging bottoms, why don't you consider something a bit more retro, like these from Adidas? I've teamed mine with a pair of high tops from Stradivarius, a white tee, and I'm going to add a quilted sleeveless jacket to complete the look. Finally, if you want to buy one piece to update your wardrobe, why not look for something which ticks lots of boxes? Not only versatile, but makes a bit of a statement, but in an on-trend colour. I'm a big fan of this season's love of pink, and like dresses, jumpsuits work really hard for me in my wardrobe as a throw-on piece. I'm not saving this gorgeous one here from Sister Jane for best. I'm going to be wearing this in daytime and I'll team it with a pair of trainers for a really chic daytime look. Or I'll just add a pair of statement sandals like these ones here from Zara. That's it for my spring style tips. I hope you've enjoyed it and it will give you a few ideas of ways of adding a bit of a refresh and a revamp to your current wardrobe.
Well, that's it for another week. Thanks to our guests Luella and Emma.
And to Sarah and Charlotte.
We'll see you next month. Have a great time, guys. Bye.